Alrighty, this is the Challenger Disaster Engineering 201 Ethics case study by me, Jonathan, and Noah. Alrighty, so facts about the incident. This was a highly anticipated launch for NASA, and unfortunately, about 73 seconds after takeoff, all the passengers on board, they all exploded, and it was a pretty bad time. So at the time, NASA was on a very tight budget and on a lot of pressure to do a lot of missions a year. This was mainly due to competition from Russia, among other things. But on the day of the takeoff, although it was Florida, it was very cold there, below freezing. So they didn't wait, and the O-rings froze, not allowing proper insulation, I guess. Caused leaks, caused an explosion. 7 lives lost, and the code of ethics that were broken here was 3,1b, 3,2b.
Here's the fault tree describing the catastrophic vehicle loss, the Challenger breakup 73 seconds after flight. It had to do with the solid rocket booster aft fuel joint failure. That's the failure of both the O-rings being too stiff to seal, the delayed O-ring sealing. Joint design vulnerability, joint rotation during ignition, exhaust gas escape because of that. Dismissed engineering concerns from management and launch decision failures. Morton Vehicle had a ton of concerns. They were just completely overridden, undermined. And the management team even reversed the communication that he had said, saying that they were all in the clear. On top of that, NASA had a lot of schedule pressure. There was a lot of inadequate risk communication to management and perceived need to avoid any more delays that were happening. There were organizational failures on top of that that even preceded the launch decision, which was a normalization of deviance. They had been doing this before, and so it was very normalized in this workforce and a lot of weak safety oversight. This over here is the event tree. We start here with the low ambient temperature. The issues with that were that the O-ring would stiffen as a result of not being temperature rated for that. It could have stiffened or not, but we know it did. It could have failed to seal, and then the secondary ring engages, or it didn't, and it didn't. And so we get a high percentage of explosion, which is what happened. Another issue is the joint gap increasing, which happens to cause a blow-by, or it could have not increased, but it did. The material could have stayed intact, but with degradation, as a result, it's not going to. So it failed, and there we go, another cause to the explosion. The decision to launch, you could have delayed the launch, or you could have launched anyway. Well, they launched anyway. They could have fixed the issues by delaying the launch or canceled the operations, but they already were under a lot of pressure, and apparently that's worth risking lives. And so another very high chance of an explosion.
How were these issues resolved? They made new standards. They reevaluated their goals and methods. They shifted the way they do things. They started prioritizing safety more instead of a better hopeful outcome. They made new designs for the O-ring and the rocket. They improved the crew escape systems, because essentially what killed the astronauts on it was not just the explosion, it was also that they descended from the sky into the Gulf of Mexico, I believe, or off of Florida, and the lack of oxygen is what killed them. And they enhanced surveying and testing. They made more rigorous testing and more inspections to prevent this from happening again. And our sources are right here. It is Britannica and World History Education and NSPE Code of Ethics for Engineers.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We'll see you in the next one.